Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute and really easy topsy-turvy pumpkin topiary. Stay tuned and I will show you how to make it. Alrighty, y'all, let us get started. So we're going to be using these little foam pumpkins that I got from Walmart. They are 98 cents each. I have 3 of them over here. And as you can see, I have pulled the little stem off. So what we're going to be doing with these is we're going to be painting them with some chalk paint. This is a matte finish chalk paint and the color pumpkin, of course. I mean, if you like the way that they're painted up already, you know, don't paint them. Don't mess with it. But I really don't like the way they look. We're going to be painting these, and then we're also going to be using this bucket. Now, this bucket came from Walmart as well, and you can kind of see the size here. I didn't want it to be so big that, you know, the pumpkins, like, get lost. But then again, I didn't want the pumpkins to be, you know, so large that they weren't in, you know, decent proportion to the bucket. So you can see here, this is sort of the, I scuffed my nail. This is sort of the proportion that we have going on here. But basically what I'm going to do first is I have 3 of these pumpkins and I'm just going to paint them with this orange chalk paint. And then you're going to let those dry completely. So I'm going to take this and I have a piece of cardstock over here. I'm just going to dump out a little bit of the paint and then using the brush here, we're just going to paint our pumpkins. Now this paint, my phone cut off. This paint covers pretty well. So you'll probably only need 1 coat, maybe, depending on the look you're going for. Might take more than 1 coat. But I'm just going to paint these. I'm going to paint all 3 of them this same orange color, okay? So I'm going to paint these, and then we will come back, and we're going to decorate them a little bit. Alrighty, so I believe our pumpkins are dry, and now what we're going to be using is a block of floral foam. I still haven't fixed that nail. A block of floral foam, and we are going to be cramming that down into our little bucket. Let's see how much of this I need to trim off. I have my trusty knife over here so I can cut down some of this foam. Trim it down. I should get the most of it off. We're going to throw that in the floor because we're going to sweep in here in a little bit anyway. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Oh, my camera's shaking. Why is my camera shaking? I don't know. I am having major problems with my phone today. It keeps cutting off. Today's just been a weird day for technology, period. But anyway, we have our foam down in our bucket here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this moss. I got this at Walmart as well because my Dollar Tree has been out of the Spanish moss for quite some time. I need to order some. You know, you can order stuff off of the Dollar Tree website. Look down in the description box and I will have my affiliate link so that you can go and use that link and buy all kinds of cool stuff at Dollar Tree's online store. As you can see, all I'm doing here is I'm just taking some of this moss and I'm just putting it in the bucket like so. Just trying to see about how much I need to get down in there, and then I might just kind of tack it in place with some hot glue. Now, we're going to be putting the pumpkins in here in a minute. So, they're going to hold the moss down pretty well. I don't really think you're going to have to glue this down. Let's see. There we go. I think that looks okay. And now let's get some of this water-based wax here. Now, this is sold, of course, over with the chalk paint, and basically what it is, it's sort of like a, do you remember back when painting acrylics was like the big thing, and my mom, you know, was all into that, and I remember she had painted, you know, like this pig and like a rattlesnake, all kinds of cool stuff. Well, there was like an antiquing medium that you brush on your project, and then you wipe it off with a soft cloth. And it adds some dimension. That's basically what your chalk paint wax is. And this is the color. It's antique wax. So you just take some of this. And when I opened it, the last time I opened it, I dropped the foil down in it. But anyway, I'm just going to take a little bit right there. And you just get just a little bit on your brush. You don't need a whole lot at all. Like so. And then whatever you're wanting to paint, this is the bottom of our pumpkin. I'm just going to kind of just spackle it on like so. And yes, I have some wooden skewers. Like when I'm painting foam things like this, I have the wooden skewers and I just stick it in the bottom. It kind of makes it a little bit easier to hold. And then as they're drying, you can stick it down in a piece of floral foam and it'll hold it upright while it dries. But anyway, you just kind of paint this on. I just kind of give it a few seconds, and then we're going to get us another paper towel, and then you just wipe it off. Now you want to make sure that you use something that is lint free, because if not, you're going to get little fuzzies all over it. So then you just kind of dab it or wipe it, however you want to do it, and you see how it kind of gives it more like a rustic look, like that. I mean, don't wipe it really hard, because then you're going to wipe all of it off, and that defeats the purpose. So we're basically just going to do that all over these pumpkins. And this stuff doesn't take that long to dry. But if you want to, you know, set it in front of a fan. So I'm going to work on these. And they're going to come back and we're going to stick them in our pot here that has the moss in it. All right, I got my pumpkins over here drying. And now what we're going to do is, whoa, it's upside down. We're going to take some of this cord and we are going to go around our bucket just a little bit, just to give it a little extra something, something, because y'all know I'm all about the little extra something, somethings. And let's try to decide which way is going to be. This will be the front. So I'm going to start right here on the front because I have a bow that I tied with some ribbon that I got from Joann's. And we're going to put that bow right here on the front. And that bow is going to cover up this little part right here where we started with our twine. So I'm just going to wrap this around, and I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I'm just going to tack it down in a few places, and I don't know, we'll wrap it about that far down. Okay, so I have my little bow, and we are going to hot glue this to the front, just like so. I mean, you don't have to put a bow on here. You can leave the bow off. But I'm going to put one on here. I'm just going to stick that there. All right, so now we're going to put our pumpkins in here. I'm going to stack them. Now, I don't want the pumpkins kind of like stacked just straight up on top of each other like that. I want them to be at an angle. I thought that would be cute to have them like at a few different angles. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to be using one of these wooden skewers like so. And you're going to take your pumpkin and kind of hold it at the angle. See, this is going to be going straight down into your foam. So you're just going to take your pumpkin at whatever angle you want it to be. And then we're just going to run it down on this skewer. It has a pointy end, so it can just go straight up through like that. I'm just going to bring it down. Let's see. See, this is the top. So now you're going to take your next pumpkin, and here's the top, and we're going to angle it the other way. Just kind of get it where we want it to be. And then just run it down on there like so. All right, I may have to bring this down a little bit. Okay. Now, once again, here's the top. So we have top, top, and then we're going to put this one over here like this. And this part is not going to go all the way through this pumpkin, okay? Because this one's going to be on the very, very top. But you still want it to be on there enough to, you know, to hold it on. Let's get it about where I want it. That looks good. And just push it down like so. All right, now we're going to put the little stems back on there here in a second, okay? Don't worry about that. Okay, so now let's kind of dig through this moss, and I'm going to put a blob of hot glue in here before I stick this down into the foam. It's just going to help hold it in place because, as you can see, we don't have very much of a skewer sticking out the bottom. Not that, you know, we're going to sit here and concern ourselves with what's sticking out of our pumpkin's bottom, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so just going to press it down in there. And now I'm going to let this sit here for a second so that this glue can set up, and I'll tilt it and you can get a better view. All right, I think that glue has set up. So now we're going to take our little pumpkin stems, and I'm just going to stick them right back down in there. Now we're going to do this one. Oh, that's leaning just a little bit. There we go. That's much better. All right, I'll put that stem on there. Now, I have these little hanging succulents that I got at Walmart. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few pieces off of this. If the moss will work with me, I'm going to take a few pieces off of this and just have it kind of hanging down. Okay, you see how the bow is here? I want to start it hanging down about 1 inch or so, maybe 2 inches or so, back behind the bow. So there's some pretty long pieces on here. I'm just going to hold it and see about where I want it. And then we're going to pop it off like so. And I am going to have to hot glue this in. So just put a little bit there, and then we're going to stick it down in the moss there. And just let it hang down. And I'm going to cut a few more pieces just like that, and then I'm going to go around the back and the side over here. You know, just kind of spacing them out. Kind of look at it, space it out a little bit more. Just to kind of give us a little, you know, a little fullness down here. But anyway, let me work on that and I'll be back. All right, I believe all of my glue has set up on my succulents. I was thinking about putting these little pumpkins in there, but you know what? After trying it out, I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. So anyway, this is going to be difficult for you to see as is. Let me try to turn it so that you can see it. And I'm going to get this set up, and I'm going to take a picture of it so that you can see a little bit better. I mean, you've already seen it at the beginning of the darn video, but I'm going to show it to you again. So that you can see our little pumpkin topiary in all of its gloriousness. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would, please give it a thumbs up, get the glue off my nails, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which will be in the description box down below, and hope to see y'all next time. Bye.